Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh, yeah.
And we're live, guys. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hey, what's up? I'm Wayne from Other Fallen.
I'm Travis. I play guitar.
Yeah, guitars. Right. It's just us two right now, but we have Waylon, that's the drums, Robert, that's the vocals, and then our other guitarist is Alexis. We actually do not have a bassist right now, so we are actually in the time for searching for one right now as well.
I'm going to start you off with a very hard question here. And this is not musically, this is you as a person. What do you want to leave as your legacy?
For me personally, I'd probably say something to do with changing people's lives with our music, like inspiring people. Something along that lines, to be honest, or at least like find some way somehow that I can actually help somebody, regardless if it's the music, if it's in something I do in my real work, what I do for a living, and or music or relationships or being in a band or whatever it is.
I guess for me, it goes both ways between my personal life and with music. I want everyone to kind of see all the hard work and dedication that I've put into all my crafts, whether it's between music or my job, and basically let everyone see that I did not cut corners and everything I did was nothing short of perfect.
Okay. So who are your influences of music?
So for me personally, I have a little bit of influences from a little bit of everything. I like to jam pretty much any genre of music, especially in the heavy world. Linkin Park was my first real band I listened to that was any close to heavy back in the day, but when I first discovered rock music, so they really progressed me to listen to other genres of music. Then from them, I progressed to As I Lay Dying, which was the first real like actual heavy metal, and that progressed me to go into bigger music like Lamb of God. More recently, I've been a fan of Shadow of Intent, um, Lorna Shore, Whitechapel, and pretty much anything melodic like Inferi, and a couple other bands as well.
I think for me, it started off with White Zombie and Testament and Cold Chamber, stuff like that. Then it ended up like in high school, ended up being like Job for a Cowboy, Cannibal Corpse, Winds of Plague, Suicide Silence, and then now it's more of Signs of the Swarm, Oceano, Chelsea Grin, and that type of stuff.
So my partner in crime just wanted to say what's up, guys.
What's up?
What's up? I think I recognize that name right there.
Yeah, Fran from Savage Ladies of Metal.
Yeah.
If you could give anybody advice about coming into the music industry, what would you give them?
Oh fuck. Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. It's a lot of work. Like regardless of what aspect of music you're in, whether it be the production side, booking bands, being in the band yourself, even like the visuals and like production side, it's a lot of work and a lot of networking. I would probably say it's more networking than anything to get yourself out there. But don't ever give up just because stuff is not going your way or you don't feel like you're at a certain point in your career of music that you think you should be and stuff. Because look at like a band like Lorna Shore. right now they've been around for what, almost 10 years, and recently, the last 3 years, they are probably the number one deathcore band in the world. And I think recently, a couple of days ago or today or something, they reached over 1 million followers and listeners on Spotify.
I just
And
saw
for
that.
a band, yeah, and for a band of that caliber of kind of heavy metal music, extreme music, that is freaking insane of how much listeners they have and how much reach they have and everything. Like I said, they've been in a band for almost 10 years, and they're just now getting to this degree of fame pretty much, and recognition. And that's pretty much my biggest advice is just don't give up. It's going to be tough, Like, I mean, I've had my own issues in the last couple of years where I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I want to keep doing this or not. But for me personally, the drive of seeing people love the music and be able to talk to fans, other people that have the same likeness of metal and music in general, pretty much just the friends I made, it all makes it worth it, to be honest, to me.
I just say practice. I mean, that's really the only advice I have. Practice, because one of the things is it could be your easiest song ever. You're like, oh man, like that's the first song we wrote. Why should I practice that one? We should be practicing the newer ones. Then you go back and practice that one easy song, and boom, it's sloppy, and there's a lot of kinks that need to be worked out with it.
And apparently we lost him for a moment. And he's back. Okay, cool. That works. And you're back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I have no idea how my day's been going. I have no idea either. So what is your favorite tour you've been on so far?
Man, I wish we could say it'd be a tour, but to be honest, we actually have not toured yet. We're trying to do some stuff this year. It's just been mainly because of a lot of things like life and other aspects of everyone's life. I just haven't been able to tour yet. But I can say my favorite, I guess, tour, but it was really just the drive there and the drive back, was when we got to play Blue Ridge a couple years back. At that time, it was a whole different lineup though. So Travis and Alexis weren't part of the band yet. And the rest of the band played in Blue Ridge. And I got to say, that's probably the most fun experience I personally have ever had. I got to meet a lot of my social media friends out there. I got to meet a lot of different bands that I grown to love and listen to, and then seeing a lot of my friends out there and other bands play as well was probably the coolest thing ever. Because I know one of the drummers from the band, from Brand of Sacrifice, their drummer is Mike Caputo from here in Houston. And I got to actually go talk with him and hang out with him for a little bit. I got to hang out with Boys in Spite and who was else? I think it was I can't remember the other band was, but I just got to talk to him real quick. Nothing too major. Just say, hey, what's up? But that was cool. And that's just me. Travis might have a different story.
I've actually only been on one tour, and that was like with the second full-time band that I was ever with. Basically just a little Louisiana and Texas run. We started off in Lafayette, Louisiana, came back through, played College Station. Then we went to Austin. We had an off day because that show got canceled. Played Laredo, had to come back to Houston, then went back to San Antonio. And everyone's probably like, oh, why would you go from Laredo to Houston back to San Antonio? That makes no sense. The thing was, we got offered to open up for Fallujah in Aegean in Houston. And we also got offered the same show in San Antonio the next night. So we were like, oh, cool. We got to like kind of tour with another band for like 2 days type thing while we're already doing our own little tour. It was a fun time. There was a bunch of fun little stories and stuff on there, but I mean, it was one of those things where I got to not go to work for a week and go play different cities and meet some cool people and have some fun for a little bit.
So if you could pick your own festival, 2-day festival.
Oh God.
First day is ladies only, and second day is Dead or Alive. Or you,
Damn, I'm gonna have to think about that. Ooh. How many bands for each day?
we could cap at 5 at each.
5 each. Okay. So the first one would be ladies. I know I honestly I've seen them live once already, but they put on a hell of a show. I would love to have Spirit Box on there. I freaking love Spirit Box. Probably Arch Enemy. Venom Prison. That Prison. I've seen them live, and she puts on a hell of a show. I'm trying to think. I don't really know a whole lot of bands that have ladies or anything. I really don't. Spirit Box. Huh. I don't know. I think it's the only 3 that come to mind, to be honest, for at least the first day, because I can't think of anything.
Dan, you forgot about Kitty.
I don't even know who that even is, to be
Oh
honest.
my God.
What?
I don't know who Kitty is.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I think they played Blue Ridge last year, and I saw the lineup, and I was like, I have no idea who that is. Yeah, I just don't
And
know.
this guy is older than me. Like, what the hell?
Not by that much. Like, what, 3 years? 2 years? It's not that much.
No.
I don't know. Like, it's, I don't know. But, I mean, there's probably a lot of bands I'm missing. I'm one of those people, you put me on the spot of, like, you could ask me, well, what's my favorite band? What's your 10 favorite songs from this band? Very favorite band. I'll be like, I don't remember anything about this band now. So I'm like, crap. But Dead or Alive, man, I know there's a lot of bands probably more alive than dead because I just like them a lot. A lot more bands nowadays. But I probably would have to definitely say Lamb of God because I freaking love Lamb of God. Shadow of a Tent, Brand of Sacrifice. Probably Nickelback because I'm a huge fan of Nickelback. So I would like to have some diversity in there. Nickelback. I do like me some Breaking Benjamin, so I probably do Breaking Benjamin as well. I think maybe that's pretty much it. 'Cause I don't know if any bands I would see that are maybe not around anymore. Maybe. Oh, I know which one. Linkin Park. I've never shot to see Linkin Park with Chester. I would love to see that with Chester. That's like that'd probably be a huge thing for me to see that.
Okay, speaking of that, the new song that got released. What were your feelings?
Honestly, it was actually pretty interesting to hear his voice again after knowing he's been gone for so long, and to hear that it didn't really it wasn't like set. It felt like it could have been released back when he was alive, back when they had that album out. And for me personally, it's probably a lot of emotions too, because like I said, Linkin Park was the first band I ever really listened to that got me into the music I'm into now. And Chester was a big part of that because of his voice and his screams and his singing. And then hearing it now, it was just like, it put me back in high school, or really middle school. It was like kind of middle school and maybe junior high actually. But it put me back in there, and it was nostalgia like all over again, as if I was listening to them for the first time ever. So for me, it was a lot of pretty big emotional experience. But
it was actually supposed to be on the album.
Yeah, that's what I read about.
But they already had Numb, so they didn't want to go in that. They didn't want to go in back to back into that direction.
Yes, I think it was also. So I was reading something else someone else said, and it was during that time frame where they were transitioning from Chester being more vocal than the other guy, and I can't remember the other guy right now.
Mike Shinoda.
Yeah, And I think that's what they were trying to transition, because that next album, I think it was mainly just Chester after that.
So, sir, who's your top 5 on both days?
I know I'm probably gonna jack some of Wayne's. So Spirit Box, Kitty. There's an unsigned band that I found a couple years ago called Living Dead Girl. I'll probably throw them on there too. Shit. I know there's other bands out there. I'm just
I'll tag her later.
not thinking about those. But on for the day 2 though, I might get railed for this one. So Falling in Reverse, because they're like one of my
What the hell?
they're one of my favorite bands. Like just if knowing everything that dude's been through since he's hopped on the scene and whatnot, going to prison, starting up a new band, and then getting it way bigger than that one and bigger than most of the bands nowadays, basically headlining festivals right now and whatnot. Just so crazy. But Motionless in White. What was that?
I said the ones that he's allowed on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's a different topic for a different day.
Motionless in White, Signs of the Swarm, Whitechapel, and Carnifex.
Okay. That's a good lineup. I like that lineup too.
Well, because it kind of goes heavy, not heavy, heavy, not heavy, heavy. It's like a show I saw one time because when Franz was doing his whole solo rap thing before Bone Crew, when he's just rapping by himself, no screaming or nothing in it, he took out another rapper, but then also he took out Palisades and this other band that lives at Breeze. So it was like you had a metalcore band, then you had a rapper, then you had another metalcore band, and then you had a rapper. And then one local band.
That sounds pretty tight, actually.
So if you could play any venue in the world, where would that be? And why?
I would probably say the Whiskey, just because it has a lot of history behind it within just, I guess, metal bands back in the 80s and whatnot. It just seems like it'd be a cool place. I've seen bands to this day still go in there. They'll basically like bigger bands like Guns N' Roses will do a last minute show there and be like, oh hey, come out, and the whole place is like sold out within 2 minutes.
Yeah. That's crazy. I'd love to be at that point. That'd be so dope. I don't remember the name of this one, but I remember seeing a reel or a short from Lorna Shore about it. And it was one, I think it was in maybe an Asian country, but I'm not 100% sure. But it was like an amphitheater looking thing, and they were in the middle. It was a theater, and then around it had water and like a lake around it or something. And I just thought that was cool. I was like, that is freaking dope. I would love to play something like that. But I just don't remember the name of it at all. But it looked really, if someone saw it, they probably know what it is and everything. But it looked freaking dope. I was like, that's freaking sick.
What's your dream instrument that you always wanted to buy, but the funds aren't there?
Custom ESP 7-string. Black, metallic black with gold hardware, Evertune bridge, reverse headstock.
Yes. I don't even know how to answer that question after that.
You're gonna say the same thing with Ibanez.
Pretty much, it'd probably just be. I don't dwell too much in the that part of my instrument too much. There's stuff I like about everything I play. I know a little bit about everything, but I just like the way some of the stuff I play feels. But it probably some kind of customizable Ibanez. I'm a Ibanez fanboy, so I love Ibanez's. So probably something with Ibanez, but on the higher end and everything.
Wayne's not a gear connoisseur. I'm the one that's always going out
Yeah,
and buying new stuff.
I really am not. Like me and him are complete opposites in that aspect with the gear. I'm like, hey, do you know anything about this? He's like, yeah, I know everything about this. I'm like, cool. And I go talk about something. He's like, yeah, you don't know this? I'm like, fuck, I don't know. It's like, shit, I don't know anything about this crap.
All right, fun question here. Freaky Friday scenario. Which member you do not want to be for 24 hours?
Probably say Travis.
What the? We're about to talk about this one, bro. Why would you not want to be me for 24 hours? I don't know. Our bass player, because he doesn't exist. So how about that one?
Yeah, the bass player. No, I have no real reason why I wouldn't want to be. It's just I knew it pissed Travis off, so I just wanted to say that. But I don't think it'd be anybody I wouldn't want to be. You know, we all have our own lives and we all have to do our own thing. You know, I'd probably say I wouldn't want to be anybody else because I have my own life too, and you know, so that's probably me.
On a serious note, I probably wouldn't want to be Waylon.
Oh, that's because he's old.
No, because he's always building stuff. I don't like building shit.
That's true. I forgot about that. He does a lot of hard labor. And we're all younger than him. I'm like, dude, I don't know how you keep doing this shit, bro. Forget that.
I'm over here writing new drum parts to these new songs, and I'm like, oh man, this guy's gonna kill me because he's older, and like his hands and feet are gonna be in for a workout. Then I'm like, wait, he works all day, so he's good.
And then he just tells Travis, I want more. I want more. Oh shit.
So what kind of sticks do you use and the weight?
Oh, that's a Waylon question. Waylon's the drummer.
So Travis can drum, but I don't. Yeah, he's not like our drummer. I can't even pick up.
I just had a drum moment.
I mean, I only learned drums for the purpose of audio engineering because I guess I felt when I was in high school, I was like, man, I know I'm going to be an audio engineer one day. So I started learning bass and drums just so the moment whenever I start producing somebody, I can relate and then have that talk with them and be like, okay, this is how you should play your instrument, or oh, this is what I'm feeling. Because I do the same thing with Waylon whenever we're writing new stuff. I'm like, hey, why don't you try this little fill out? Then go play it for him real quick, and then he's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, there you go. I couldn't do that. I'd be like, do the bachika thing.
Yeah,
he'd be like, what the fuck
actually go show him, and I'll be like,
that's fun.
So do you guys have nicknames in the band?
So technically we do. We have a group chat that we're in, and we keep fucking with each other a lot, and we change our name in there. I think Travis, he did something with mine and Waylon, and I don't know what it really, because every time he tags one of us, it can both pop up and they look the same, so I never know who he's talking to.
So you're Wang.
Yeah, Wang.
Waylon is way long.
And then Alexis is just a random kind of note pattern. I call him Lilu or something like that.
Willie Will Lilu.
Wait, do you have it on there right now? You can see it?
Yeah, because the Facebook tab's up and he.
Oh yeah, so he has Willie. And then I changed Travis to the bassist because we were making fun of him for a music video we were doing a couple weeks ago, and we didn't have a bassist filled in for it this time around. So I told him, hey, you know, you just put a bass on him and stuff, and he made a big deal about it.
Well,
So I was
now
like,
you said that because I was like, okay, so here's what happened. We're shooting the video and we have like a day where we don't have to do our day scenes. And I camped out over there. I got bored. So I went to the mall and I was like, hey, how pissed would you guys be if I cut my hair like right now during the video shoot?
oh, yeah, that's what it was.
And
Yeah.
they were like, yeah, do it. And then we'll just put a bass on you. Cause my hair was long when we shot the video. And I was like, nah, I'm just going to wait till after the video. There's not even a bass out there to do this.
Yeah. And then ever since then, I was like, you know what? I'm going to call him the bassist now. And I think I named our vocalist Rob the Breester, like a Breester. But other than that, I don't know what other nicknames we have. Maybe assholes. I don't fucking know.
I just call everyone pussies.
That too. He does. I call everyone bitch, I guess. What's up, bitches?
If you could change one thing in the industry, what would that be?
Man, I don't think there's just one thing I would change, to be honest. There's a lot of little things I'd probably change. And I guess because it's more of a topic right now, but definitely I would get rid of merch cuts from venues for bands. Because bullshit, it really is. Like, you know, all these bands play these shows and they get booked for these shows, and then these venues still want to take a merch cut from the bands, but yet the bands will never see any form of money from the bar at all, and that's bullshit. I mean, you book the bands, and and they have to pay for their expenses anyways, and that a lot of the time is from merch, and then they're expected to pay this. Like, I think recently, Monuments had a post where it was in I think Italy, I think it was, and 25% was from VAT, and then 27, I think, or something like that, was from the concessions. That's like 40. I think it was like 47% altogether, and I think originally they had made like over 800,000 or something weird, a crazy number. I can't remember what I think it was, and they themselves only got like, I think like 300 or something, and that's a big cut. That's just ridiculous. So I guess for me, because it's a hot topic right now, that's probably one of them. But if it was to be for me personally, probably the pay to play bullshit. I do not understand it at all. There's a lot of pay to plays for a lot of different things, like whether it be local stuff or big concerts or festivals or tours and everything. And it's just weird. Like, you pretty much, I mean, I know it can be used as like marketing and stuff, and maybe really expensive marketing, but just in my head too, it just doesn't really make sense sometimes. There's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense with it, in my opinion, especially when it's an all local lineup or fest or whatever, and the bands have to pay to be on it. And I'm not talking pre-sales, I'm talking like actual paying to be on it. It doesn't make any sense to me of where it just doesn't make sense. I don't understand it, and I think that should change. I think it's bullshit too.
Like, I understand it to a point. It's a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's a numbers game. As soon as you were born, you're a number.
Yeah,
It's a numbers game. They do that so they see what kind of draw you're going to bring in, and you can be amazing. But if you don't have the draw, it's not, what do you call it? If the numbers aren't there, they're doing it for their own protection.
yeah. Which, I mean, I do understand that, but that's where I think pre-sales make more sense than just paying a huge sum of money to be on something. Now, I know it's a thing regardless in touring and festivals. It's definitely really prevalent. I mean, Of the Fallen's been a part of some of that stuff, and we personally had good outcomes from it because of the way we marketed for it,
Yeah.
and we did very well with it. But and I understand what you're saying too. It's just, I think in that aspect, I think pre-sales would probably do better for that. And pre-sales, I have no problem with pre-sales. You know, if you give me pre-sales, I would do whatever I can to sell them out and sell you. But if it's not, you know, then you just paid it beyond something. It's like, I don't know. But I understand. And I know sometimes just is one of those things we have to do. I just kind of wish it would change a little bit because some of this is too expensive for bands. I don't even know how some bands can even do it.
No, I totally understand that. That's why people I've spoken to, that's why they don't do festivals. And yeah, I mean, it's against everything they believe in. So, I mean, I see both sides of the coin here on both aspects of it. Yeah, what do you call it? Even for myself, there's the Websies, there's the other award shows for what I do. Yeah, they wanted a kickback. They wanted like $75, or one was 75, one was 175 to maybe be honored. You know what I'm saying? Like it was never a definite.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they put you in the same ranking as Joe Rogan, and I'm just like, oh well, that's $170. Goodbye.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what I do,
Yeah.
they'll put you in the same category as Joe Rogan and a few others.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've seen it. It's not, what do you call it? I don't think it's even cute.
Yeah, but if you look at it from others' perspective too, so I understand maybe like if it's like say a humongous tour and it costs the band like $10K to be on it, you know, I don't know if that's a number or not, but I know it's probably more than that to go on this tour with it. And they're like, let's say it's like Lorna Brand, Shadow, and Body Snatcher, like that tour that's coming up right now. And the band got offered to be on it and it paid 10K, 20K for it. That actually might be worth it, you know, because you're opening for some of the biggest bands in the scene.
Yeah.
And every day you'll probably make roughly, depending if you're a good band too, you're probably going to make anywhere from 5 to 1,000 in merch, even with other bands, depending on how good you are. And if you actually at least have some decent following, it's probably possible. So that might actually end up coming out. And then your name gets out there with the bigger names. That's like it's like pretty much just really expensive marketing in that aspect.
And you grab other fans while you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. So in that aspect, I can kind of understand, but just certain fests that want money when they're not humongous fests, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I'm like, it just doesn't. And it's not a shot at anything or particular. It's just I've seen it happen with somewhat smaller fest or medium-sized fest that still want buy-ons or pay to be on it, and it's like, but how is that money justified for the amount that's going to be there, you know? And it doesn't. But yeah.
All right, so we're at the halfway mark. I do this every episode. You could flip it on me. You can ask me anything now.
Let's see. I'm always bad at questions. Maybe Travis, you can take it for a little bit. I'll think of something. Because I'm bad at questions, so bad. I'm so fucking bad at questions. How about...
Could you beat Wayne in Smash Bros?
That's a legit question. You know what's the Smash Bros, you know?
I have probably not. I haven't picked up a video game in, I'm going to say, at least 3 years, maybe longer.
Oh, shit. That's funny. I know a couple of weeks ago for our vocalist's birthday, we all went to his apartment or his friend's apartment and we played Smash, and I kicked everyone's ass, so that's just me. But whatever. Yeah. I guess I'm trying to see how to word this. Oh god, I'm really bad at asking questions. I guess like what's the most messed up interview you ever done? Like if like a band did something really whacked or out, or something happened, and it was just crazy.
Um, I had one incident, but it wasn't. It's on the internet somewhere. It's just not on you. It's not on YouTube at all. Um, Person asked me to preamp all my questions, and literally told me he wasn't answering like pretty much half of them.
What the hell?
So I went through the interview and what do you call it? Used different questions, but like that did put a bad taste in my mouth a little bit.
Hmm.
Like I don't really like preamping questions, not unless you're PR. Like if PR needs it, that's a totally different story. I'll do whatever they need me to do. I respect them a lot. I'll do whatever they need me to do to a point. But yeah, didn't want to answer this one, didn't want to answer this one. Number 7, number 8, like I gave like 20 questions and half of them he didn't want to answer.
Jesus, that's crazy.
But like, of course, interviews I've had like dogs running around, kids running around, or random things happen. But except for that, I mean, so far I've been lucky.
That's good though. 'Cause I know I've heard things where people like do crazy shit or say crazy stuff, or I don't know, they just do stupid stuff sometimes.
I mean,
That's,
there are some I have in the archives that I have not put out because they didn't listen to the directions correctly. Like COVID days when I just had to preamp everything and they sent the video back, but I have like maybe 4 or 5 that didn't get released.
yeah. Yes. How about this one? What's the best concert you've ever been to?
Oh man, I've been to so many. I'm gonna say the first big arena show I was ever at. It was
Which
the
band?
it was the biggest. My first arena show was.
Oh, arena show. Okay.
I went to go see. It was the first Family Values tour. So it was Korn, Ice Cube, Limp Bizkit, Orgy, and Rammstein.
Jesus.
You could not. What do you call it? If you wanted to buy my tickets, I'd laugh in your face.
I would punch somebody in the face if they asked me that question.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a legit fest or tour or whatever. I mean, that was heavy hitters. Those are all heavy hitters.
Could you imagine if that tour happened like today?
It'd be weird though. I don't know, because I think some like Orgy is not even really a band. I don't think, are they?
Oh,
I don't know.
no, they actually played recently. Actually,
Really? Okay, that's interesting.
yes. No, in New York somewhere.
That's fine. I only know one song by them, and y'all can probably guess which song I only know by them.
It's probably Monday.
Yeah, it's the only song I know by them, and I actually enjoy that song a lot. But other than that, I don't really know anything about them.
I was actually at a concert on Tuesday night. I was at Theory of a Dead Man and Saint Samia.
Mm.
Yeah, I average about. To be honest, I average about 36 concerts a year, maybe more. Depends on who's coming to Jersey and who's not.
I wish I could even average half that a year. Fuck.
Yeah, I pop up. I pop up everywhere. A lot of bands are not hitting Jersey this year, so I'm like a little bummed out, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Damn. How about the worst concert ever? I always like hearing the worst one ever.
Okay, I'm probably gonna hear shit for this, but Hoobastank.
Really?
when they first came out. Yeah, I saw them in the stage presence wasn't there. So I ended up actually hanging out with one of the openers. I ended up hanging out with I don't know if they're still a thing anymore. Like their songs have been in movies and everything else, but Blindside, I hung out with them for the rest of the night.
That's really surprising.
Like I've never really walked out of a concert. I was still there. I wasn't like in the pit or anything. I still heard everything, but it was like a wet noodle up front. Like they were not moving around. They weren't doing anything.
Was this when they first were getting popular?
Yeah, when the I think this is before The Reason came out, the other hit song they had.
Yeah. Huh. Dang, that's crazy.
Like I'm saying, like early days. It was a free ticket, so I went. But yeah,
Hey, free ticket.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know. I always liked hearing worst concerts just because I think they're fun to listen to and funny.
What was your worst concert?
Oh, the one that sticks out the most was because it was still around the first time I was going to concerts, and it was the biggest concert at the time I went to, and it was around the same thing. They were first getting popular. It was Five Finger Death Punch.
Okay.
And they actually played the House of Blues here in Houston, and it was them. God forbid, a band called 2 Cents, and there was another band I think I can't remember, but they were supposed to be Throwdown, and I really want to go for Throwdown, but they ended up not being able to play. But anyways, the Five Finger Death Punch went on. That was one of the main matches to see, anyways, because they just released The Way of the Fist, and
Okay.
I had heard that album all through high school, and it was one of my favorite albums during that time period. And when they played, they kind of sound like shit, to be honest. The drums
Really?
were off. This old lady was grinding on me, and I did not like it. And she was elderly, like older than me, and then I mixed that with not really the best show and everything. The guitars kind of sounded meh. The drums I even sounded okay, but the drums just sounded so bad, like sloppy. And I was just all like, I had expectations, especially when it's like your first concert, one of the first heavier concerts,
Yeah.
/ like big concerts, and you have this expectation of a band. And then it was just all like, what the fuck? But ever since then, I've never seen them live because then they got big, and then they started selling out everywhere they went. So I just never got to see them live again. The only time I got close was Blue Ridge a couple years ago.
So funny story about Five Finger. I bought lawn tickets to go see it was Megadeth and Five Finger. I got a lawn ticket for $20. Get to the venue. They always have an upgrade booth. Got to see Megadeth and Five Finger from row 100 for an extra $15. I mean, you can't beat that at all.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So what was your worst concert?
Man, there's been a bunch of locals that suck, but if we're going to talk about national bands, man, I've been thinking about this for like the last 5 minutes while you guys been talking. I'm probably going to say the last time I saw Manson, because the first time I saw, well, I don't remember if it was the first or not, but one of the first times I saw him was 2015 with Smashing Pumpkins, and he was
Okay.
on point, sounded fucking amazing that night. But The last time I saw him with Rob Zombie, he played like 4.5, 5 songs before he got carted off because he was all coked up. And they tried saying that it was because he was like dehydrated or something. But like I had friends that were like working backstage and they're like, no, dude, he had every sign of being coked up at that time.
So speaking of Manson, I got to see him, I'm going to say maybe 3 years ago. And that's when you saw in the news and everything else that like he played 3 songs and he left, or, you know, like whatever the case may be. I spent $80 on the ticket to go see him and played every song. Everything was fine. He didn't have a breakdown. It was a good show. So like I'm at that point. I'm like very iffy if I'm going to buy the ticket to something because I don't know if it's going to be a good day for somebody or not.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Because ticket prices are so expensive now.
Yeah, see, like I feel like if I ever went to a Manson show again, like I would not go if he was headlining, because that's where the game is on. Because at least the last time I saw him was with Rob Zombie, and that's who I really wanted to see. Manson was a bonus on that one.
What is the weirdest combination that you've seen so far, like lately so far, that you're just intrigued to go to the concert?
Like lineup wise?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, there's
a lot of shows coming up, to be honest.
I really want to go to Incarceration again this year.
Yeah, I'd probably say either that or Blue Ridge, because Blue Ridge has some of the craziest bands I've ever seen on a show, like in a concert setting, and especially on a festival like that. I'm like, Jesus.
I think they're still announcing more. I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, if I had the money, I'd probably go, but I just don't got the money right now. And man, it's a lot of bands I would love to like see right now too. So it's like, God dang.
So how was it since you guys played it, or half of you played it? How was it, like the accommodations and everything? How was that? Like, were you there for all 3 days, or you were just your day, pack up and leave?
So hopefully I don't get in trouble for this, but so during that time frame, it was a lot of different. It's different than the way they did it now. Because I have friends that played last year, and I think I have a couple of friends that are playing this year, and they changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Back during that time, I think it was the first time they did like all 4 days. I think originally Blue Ridge was always like what 2 or 3 days, something like that.
Yeah. Then
so it was 4. Yeah, so they added all those extra days. So we got there and everything, and don't get me wrong, at the end of the day, we still had a fun time, and it was an amazing experience for all of us involved. And I mean, I would love to go back, but at that time, there's a lot of things that happened and that we weren't always too happy about because it kind of screwed over all the local bands or smaller bands.
Yeah.
And everything. Like, I think the day before we arrived, we got the email that said, "Oh, y'all can't use wireless." And I'm like, what the hell? And there's a day before we got there, and we were already on the road. I'm like, what the hell? And then I told my bandmates, like, dude, hey, we can't use wireless. Like, what the hell do you mean can't use wireless? And it was a whole ordeal because I guess something happened where they didn't communicate with the bigger bands of what patches or wireless stuff settings out.
Yeah.
Something stupid like that. So that kind of pissed us off because I didn't have anything to do that. If you see pictures or videos, you see my cable is like really short. And you can see my cable just like when we're playing, it's just like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then we couldn't hear the backtrack, so we had backtracks with in our in-ears. We couldn't use those, so we just had to give it to our drummer. and our drummers had to play clean, and he does anyway without the backtracks. But so we were just going off of him. But the reason I said I hope I don't get in trouble for this because technically we weren't supposed to be able to stay there to go see the shows the rest of the weekend. But what we did was we just became really good friends with a lot of security there.
Yeah.
And we parked in the artist parking lot still, and we got to go watch the bands. Like, we got to hang out all 3 days because we didn't get there till Thursday night. So we got there. I think we got there sometime Wednesday night, and we were there for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I think, but I can't remember now. I think maybe we were only there for 3 days, but we played that Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday we stayed, and we ended up being able to go to the shows, go behind everything. We were able to talk to. Some of us were able to meet Steve-O from Jackass. And it was just a fun time, you know. And they had great food. There was drinks everywhere. People walking around the back all the time. You know, it was pretty cool because as you're in that back area, you see all the bigger artists just walking around like nothing. And in your mind, because you're still a fan, you're like, holy shit, dude, he's like right here, you know? And then, you know, it's just one of those things. But that was fun. We got to stay back there. We got to hang out. And like I said, we just became really good friends with a lot of security there. And one of the guys was driving us around too. Some of us, half of us driving us around, going back and forth because he loved us. His daughter was actually there too while he was working. And we were able to give her shirts and give her a couple of things. I think more recently, she actually made a quilt of all the bands that she liked, and we were on one of the quilts that she made.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it was a really cool experience. So I'm glad we were able to do that. But it was fun. Like, regardless of all the crap that happened, it was still fun. You know, at the time it was annoying, but now we've been at the point to where, you know what, it was what it was. Shit happens. We ultimately had fun though.
So, fun question here. Last Supper scenario. Who's your 12? And one has to be a female.
Wait, say it again?
Last Supper scenario.
Oh, Last Supper scenario.
Yes, who's your 12 disciples and who's Lady Magdalene? It could be cartoons as well. It could be musicians. It could be whoever you want there.
Shit, I might have to like write it down. I can remember all this shit.
Let me make it easy. You do 6. You do 6.
Okay, that might be easier. Okay.
And I know Yoda is coming, so we'll put him somewhere. I see him in the background.
So Travis knows he can go first. I'm still thinking. Trying to think. That's a big one.
I'm gonna cheat right here. I'm gonna say the 5 of us plus
You can't cheat like that. That's a bullshit answer.
Well, okay, so us 2 are already in there. That's 2 of that.
Yeah, but we're already there. That's not gonna count.
Oh well, fuck. I don't know.
Me and you are already there. So we just have the 6. That's what I'm thinking in my head. At least it's like the 6. So each gets 6.
All right, Pinhead and Homelander, Lucifer.
But which Lucifer? I'm Lucifer. Which Lucifer though?
Lucifer from the fucking show on Netflix.
Oh, you're talking about Yeah, that's what I was asking. That's what I thought too, but I was just asking.
Celine from Underworld.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she can get it. uh,
I shall tag her later for you. We'll see what happens.
yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, she was.
I got to help her brother out somehow.
She was fucking around with that goofball Pete Davidson. So I mean, who else?
So things are endless if that was the case.
Boba Fett, Sephiroth. There, I got 6.
That's true. That's true. My 6 for sure. So I'm a huge fan, regardless. Batman himself, not really Bruce Wayne, but the Batman himself. Probably Samus from Metroid Prime.
Okay.
Master Chief. I might put 2 girls in here just because I'm thinking about it. You know, Magician Girl from Yu-Gi-Oh. So what was that? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably Tony Stark. Not Iron Man, but Tony Stark himself. And I know, I'll have Charizard.
Charizard?
Little Charizard from Pokemon. Like literally the Charizard fucking dragon from Pokemon. Oh, not even really a dragon. He's just, I don't know what he is. Like chameleon? I don't even know. It looks like a dragon, but it's not classified as a dragon. That makes no sense.
So what are you gonna serve though? Like, what's your comfort food? What's your last hurrah?
Shit. I mean, pretty much. I eat it almost every month, but like I have pizza, wings. I freaking love wings and hot sauce with everything. Ranch with it. Probably shrimp stir fry. That's some good stuff.
Mexican food.
Yeah, it's his. He would be Mexican food the whole thing.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
probably like to have a little bit of everything. Like, but if I go to have food or something, I kind of want like choices.
I mean,
I
like,
always
you can
like
just
having
give me
choices.
a whole bunch of margaritas and chips and salsa. I'm
He probably he could. Jesus, dude.
Since we're talking about food, what's your weirdest combination that you like that people might, you know?
So last year I was actually on a weird cooking thing. So, like, I figured out how to cook some pretty good stuff, and then I would go out of the box because I'm like, I'll look at recipes to kind of see how something is made, but then I'll kind of like take it a step further and experiment with different ingredients and different ways to like cook stuff up. So, yeah, I don't know. I made these tacos one time. I kind of ghetto rigged some of it, but I cooked tilapia up to put it in there because I was making fish tacos, but then I was getting like jalapeno rice and some other stuff to put on it. I don't know.
That actually sounds pretty good though.
It was good. It was hot.
Yeah,
So
sounds
I
pretty good.
spicy guacamole on top of it too.
Oh, that sounds really good. Mine's would be more like a snack, but I absolutely love specifically Lay's sour cream onion chips with ketchup. Yeah, I I got my wife onto it, so it must be somewhat good, I guess, because she says she was like, "What the hell?" And then she tries it, and then it's all like That's pretty good. So no.
So before we get into the promotion part, do you have any messages you'd like to say to your fans?
I mean, personally, for me, just thank you for the support. Because in reality, we as a band can't do anything we do without the support we have from our fans and everything. Every little bit helps. Every share, every comment, every react, every merch spot, every mention of us, of the band, of the following, it helps us tremendously throughout everything, and it helps to see that, and helps us as musicians to keep wanting to go and do it, because we see the impact that we have sometimes. Just a simple shout out, simple share, it really means the world to us as musicians and as people too. So that's pretty much. So I gotta say thank you.
I just like hanging out with everybody at the shows. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know. Ever since I joined the band, people added me on Facebook, and obviously because I'm in a band that they like that was already established, I'm like, okay, cool. But then like whenever they come up to me at shows, they're like, Travis, what's up? They act like we're best friends, and they're like, hey man, let's do shots. I'm like, hell yeah. Like, I love you. I want to fucking kiss you on the face. And it's like dudes, it's not chicks that are doing that. Dudes are like, hey man, let's do shots. I'm like, I want to fucking kiss you, bro.
Just do it anyways, bro.
I might.
I know. Hey, man.
So what does March 9th mean to you guys?
Man, so personally for me, it means a new era of OTF. If you follow the band at all, you'll see, especially in the 3 years that we've pretty much been as a band, the progress and change we have through band members, through the way we run our stuff, through social medias and how we write, So I think this is more so of like kind of like a chain of the guards kind of thing for where we started out to where we want to go. So to me personally, this is a big step in a direction that we want to take as a band, and as we want to take as individuals as well. Like just the work we put into this has been a long time coming, and we've actually had been working on this song specifically for almost 2 years. A lot of stuff has happened. So it's more so of a coming to a point, of relief, of getting to that next step, the next level of what we want to do as a band, pretty much. Kind of like rising from the fire, maybe rising from the phoenix. I don't know. Too cliche, but.
I'm sure you have a pre-save for Spotify, right?
Yes, we do. I have to send the link somewhere, but yeah, we do. And I've been posting it on most of our posts on our medias and in our bios, and a lot of our social media apps and stuff is in our bios. And every pre-save helps. Like it may seem like stupid, but pre-saves help a lot with us getting the algorithms of everything, letting Spotify or Deezer or iTunes or whatever else it is, let them know that Napster, there we go. But let them know that
LimeWire.
People like us, no one here. Yeah, LimeWire. I don't know about that.
Made like 66 cents off of Napster off of my other band stuff.
Yeah.
Never thought that was gonna happen.
Hey, pay for that for I don't know, something. A little that one pick. Like maybe at one pick. I don't know.
So what are we looking forward to for the rest of the year?
So right now we just got done filming a music video. Both the one we're releasing and the one that we're going that for that one we just finished have a feature in it. I'm not gonna say too much about the other one because I don't want to give away just yet. But it is from a band that's been established for a very long time. During the good old days of deathcore and scene bands. They were up and coming during that time, and the dude that's in it, he's a good friend of mine now, and everything. And being able to work with this guy, long story short, is just amazing because I looked up to him growing up. So, but we're also trying to work on getting a couple other songs done and finished. We have 2 songs pretty much there. We just got to do some tweaking and then get it mixed and mastered. We're really hoping that we can get everything done. Sometimes stuff just happens, especially the last couple of years. We've kind of gotten screwed over. I'm going to say it point blank, got screwed over by a couple of people, and it really pushed us back a lot. So, and like I said, Harlots was a song that was technically supposed to be ready sometime last year, and then some stuff happened, and we had to push it all the way back to now. Same thing happened with a couple other songs we've been working on. Some bullshit happened. We had to push it back. But when Travis joined, he helped us a lot getting it to that point too, because he helped us a lot with it, So there's a lot of new stuff coming. We already have how much is in pre-production right now, Travis?
I probably have like 5 or 6 songs sitting on the computer that are being worked on.
Yeah, so that's 6 songs plus I think technically 3 that are finished, maybe 2 or 3.
I think altogether we had like 7 or 8 or so that were being planned on released, which I know some of the songs we're going to drop with just like visualizers and stuff. And then there's going to be one that we're planning on shooting like a live video for. Because, as much as we want to shoot music videos for everything, financially, that's just not a thing
it's fucking
at the moment,
bro.
So I think on this last video that we just shot, we easily spent like $2 or $3 grand on it.
No, not that one. That one a little less. Less. Only because we didn't have to. No, actually, no. I think you're right. Actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably closer to 2K or so for that one.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably spent really close to 2K or more. I know with Harlots, we actually spent probably almost 3K to film that and get it ready and stuff. And a lot of that money actually came from the fans. So backtrack a little bit. When we played Blue Ridge, we made a lot of money out there, actually. It's surprising we did. I was actually happy about that. That went to our first music video. And then because of that first music video and all the streams and stuff, a lot of stuff started coming back and especially with all the other merch we did. So it it pretty much paid for our last music video. And then we still had a little bit left over from a couple of things that paid for the newest one we made. So in reality, the fans actually helped us pay for a lot of it, like probably a good 80% of it, So it's one of those things that fans maybe not understanding, or people in general, that all that money for merch, for shows, streaming, it really does help bands out a lot. Like a whole lot.
So do you want to drop all your handles to all your social media so people can follow you?
Yeah, pretty much it's going to be Of the Fallen or Of the Fallen HTX. I think you look at us, look up on Google, we pretty much pop up now. That's pretty cool, to be honest. I didn't think that would ever happen. But yeah, I mean, pretty much everything is Of the Fallen or Of the Fallen HTX, some form of that. And then we have Bandcamp, which same thing. And then Bandcamp, Spotify, TikTok, Twitter. Twitter we don't use as much. I'm trying to get back into Twitter for the band, but it's Facebook, Instagram. We each have a Discord as well. So if people want to go in and just to our Discord, just look up Other Fallen, or I think we have to send have a link for that actually.
There's
Someone
an
had to send
invite
that link.
code, but we've posted it a couple times.
Yeah,
It's not super
So-
active. We're trying to get it more there. It's one of those things where the moment that it gets as active as like to the point where people are posting in there daily, we're going to plan on doing some cool stuff in there because like we have a hidden tab for street team members. So if people are on the street team, there's like a little chat for that where we also post like marketing assets and all that. But one thing that we're going to plan on doing in the future with it when we got more people and it was more active is obviously like when we're about to drop some stuff, like throw a little bit more of a little hinty hint or more little video clips and stuff in there, and or like, you know, have a video chat night or something and be like, oh hey, we're gonna leak the video in here for you guys like a day ahead or something cool like that.
yeah.
All right, before we guys wrap this up, I just want to a little bit of a reminder, guys. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. Cash App is at the bottom if you would like to support the channel. This is going to be on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch is just Concert Rob, and my own personal TikTok. If you find me there, I'll be on. Part of this will be on there later on tonight. I want to thank you guys again for coming on, and I hope you all have a great night.
Oh yeah, you too, man.
Hey, yeah, I do.